So we're all currently receiving great clarity and new direction as we apprehend or integrate the serpent into the crown. This is another Kundalini-Chrism yoga update, your mother tongue. And we see in a lot of ancient Kemetic or Egyptian imagery, gods and goddesses with the serpent on the crown, the disc, the sun disc, and the serpent around it, the serpent coming out of the forehead. And this is the symbolism of raising the life force energy, the Kundalini energy, from the lower base chakras all the way into the crown. So it's the integration of the ignorant or fear-based or unseen shadow part of the self into the crown. So right now, we're coming into the crown in Kundalini-Chrism yoga. As we go from solstice to solstice, we move from root to crown, right? And as we come into the crown, the energy is also a lot higher, because I've made this drawing to show you that we come through the system. It takes a lot longer to move through the root, the sacrum, and the manipura, because those are the lower three chakras in the material aspect of the self, in the cave, in the ignorance. But as we cross into the heart chakra, right, crossing over into the consciousness aspect of self, out of matter into consciousness, we move through heart, throat, ajna, bindu, and crown very quickly, because the spiral of energy is moving from a big wave and it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller into a tighter wave. So a big wave of energy, serpentine sine wave energy, is so-called lower energy, but I don't see it in a moralized way. And when it gets tighter, the wave, it's a higher energy. So as it gets tighter and tighter, as we come toward the solstice, it reaches a point, which is the bindu, the point. We reach the point. We understand the point. We're not lost in the wave of the ocean of the self, or kind of our emotions, and unclear of, what direction to take. At this time of year, the energy, the mother's energy, comes to the point, and we're given the crown. We're given great illumination and direction on what direction to take in our lives, what we need to introduce, what we need to maybe cut away, what we need to do to evolve, right? And of course, with every step of evolution, I've introduced things into my life and I feel some resistance, and I feel a little, like, when we step into new ground, there's always a little bit of difficulty to overcome, except it's not overwhelming difficulty. We have the information and we know how to help ourselves, and we feel kind of equipped to move into it without kind of being overwhelmed by the resistance. We are able to move through the resistance because we are now in the sunlight. The serpent of our ignorant selves has had its time figuring out life, and now that it's come into this higher, tighter frequency, we've hit the point, right? So even though there might be a few challenges, we feel able to step into the thing that we need to step into. And we're given all the things around us in order to do that. Because as soon as we come out from the crown, June, July, after the solstice, we're going to head back into the root again, right? And we start the process going that way, on the other side, from solstice to solstice, on that side of the year. So we come up into the point, we reorientate our lives. I've got to do this, got to change this. Okay, this is a bit difficult, but I'm going for it because I know what's best for me. And then we land in a new ground of being as soon as we come back into the root chakra again, earth. The root is earth. So we're going to re-earth in a new way. We're going to land anew, land higher, land in a more integrated way. So yeah, would love to hear if everybody else out there is feeling new direction coming in, taking on the challenge of that, knowing that, like, okay, it's new, but I'm going for it. Yeah, and I just also want to say, we're coming up to Sirius rising. Our spiritual sun rises July, August every year, right? And Sirius is known as Isis's star, or the goddess's star. And it's way more powerful than the sun. And it's interesting that at this time of year, we reach the crown where we join with Sirius. Sirius rises to give us new direction, a new infilling of a sense of self and how we can become more whole, right? And then we land anew, and then we move toward December, and that's the story of the birth of Christ, or the birth of Horus. Again, we will reach the crown in December, right? And we will have another realization come December, and we will reorientate, shift our lives, introduce, cut away, feel empowered, and then boom, we'll land again in Earth again in January next year. So yeah, just wanted to share that. And yeah, I would love to hear if you're feeling new direction, if you're feeling little challenges coming up. Are you equipped for your challenges? I want to encourage everyone that you can move through any challenges that come up at any time of year, but especially this time of year. Energetically, we are, this is what the Kundalini life force energy is doing. Yeah, so sending love and enjoy.